In the heart of Virginia, amidst the rolling hills and sprawling estates of the American colonies, a revolutionary mind was forged. This is the story of George Mason, a man whose ideas would lay the groundwork for a nation built on the principles of liberty and justice. Born in 1725, George Mason was thrust into a world of responsibility and privilege after the untimely death of his father. Inheriting a vast estate, Mason's early years were marked by both the challenges of managing land and the pursuit of knowledge in a society on the brink of change. Without formal education, Mason turned to his library, immersing himself in the works of Enlightenment thinkers. Influenced by the likes of John Locke and Montesquieu, Mason began to question the world around him, developing a deep belief in the rights of individuals and the dangers of unchecked power. As a Virginia gentleman, Mason's life was one of contrast, between the expectations of his class and the radical ideas taking root in his mind. His estate, Gunston Hall, became not just a home, but a sanctuary for his revolutionary thoughts. Mason's intellect and wealth positioned him as a leader in Virginia's society, yet it was his unwavering commitment to the principles of liberty that set him apart. His advocacy for individual rights and limited government would soon find its voice in one of the most influential documents of the American Revolution. In the shadow of revolution, Mason's pen brought forth the Virginia Declaration of Rights, a bold assertion of the inherent freedoms of man and a blueprint for the liberties Americans hold dear to this day. It was a declaration that would echo through history, inspiring the birth of a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. George Mason may not have sought the spotlight, but his legacy as a foundational figure in American history is undeniable. As we explore his life and beliefs, we uncover the roots of the revolutionary spirit that would lead to the creation of the United States of America. Join us as we delve into the life of George Mason, the reluctant founding father whose vision of liberty and justice helped shape a nation. As the colonies edged closer to the brink of revolution, George Mason found himself at the heart of Virginia's struggle for independence. It was here, amidst the growing clamor for liberty, that Mason would etch his name into history as the architect of Virginia's rights. In the heated atmosphere of 1776, Mason took on the monumental task of drafting the Virginia Declaration of Rights. This document, revolutionary in its scope, was to assert the undeniable rights of man against the backdrop of tyranny and oppression. With a steady hand and a clear mind, Mason penned a declaration that would resonate through the ages. All men are born equally free and independent, it proclaimed, laying the groundwork for the principles of democracy and individual liberty. Mason's declaration was groundbreaking. It not only influenced the American Declaration of Independence, but also set a precedent for the protection of individual rights worldwide. His insistence on the separation of powers and the right to reform or abolish inadequate government was revolutionary. Mason was not just a Virginia patriot. He was a visionary for what democratic governance could become. But Mason's influence didn't stop with the Declaration of Rights. He was instrumental in the creation of Virginia's Constitution, ensuring that the rights he so fiercely advocated for were ingrained in the fabric of the state's governance. Through his work, Mason laid the philosophical and legal foundations for the state of Virginia, a testament to his belief in the importance of laws that protect the liberties of the people. As the colonies moved inexorably toward revolution, Mason's writings on rights and governance became a beacon for those seeking to define the new nation's identity. His voice, though often overshadowed by his contemporaries, was a guiding force in the fight for American independence. George Mason, the architect of Virginia's rights, stood at the crossroads of history, crafting the legal and moral framework for a fledgling nation. His legacy, enshrined in the documents that shaped America, remains a testament to his vision of a society built on the principles of liberty and justice for all. Yet, Mason's journey was far from over. As the new nation took shape, he would find himself at odds with the very Constitution he helped inspire. Stay with us as we explore Mason's critical role in the shaping of the United States, and his lasting impact on the nation's founding principles. As the newly independent states grappled with their collective future, the Philadelphia Convention of 1787 called forth the brightest minds to draft a constitution for the United States. Among them was George Mason, a voice of wisdom and caution in the face of monumental change. Mason, already a respected architect of Virginia's rights, brought his deep convictions to the convention. His vision for America was clear: a nation that protected the liberties of its people against the potential tyranny of its government. Yet, as the summer wore on, Mason's excitement turned to concern. The draft constitution, in his eyes, lacked the essential safeguards for liberty he so deeply believed in. There was no Bill of Rights, no clear declaration of individual freedoms. In a stand that shocked many of his peers, Mason refused to sign the Constitution. His dissent was not taken lightly, marking him as one of the most prominent critics of the document that would define America. Mason's refusal was a bold statement about his commitment to individual rights. His fear was that without explicit protections, the government could easily infringe upon the freedoms of its citizens. His stance was prophetic. The absence of a Bill of Rights became one of the most contentious debates as the Constitution went to the states for ratification. The years following the convention were difficult for Mason. His principled stand cost him friendships and positioned him as an outsider in the early republic. Yet, his resolve never wavered, even as he faced personal tragedies and the loss of his beloved wife. Retreating to Gunston Hall, Mason watched from a distance as the nation he helped to birth wrestled with its identity. Despite his disillusionment, his contributions continued to influence the debate on freedom and governance. Though he did not live to see the adoption of the Bill of Rights, Mason's relentless advocacy for individual liberties laid the groundwork for its inclusion. Today, we remember him not just as a reluctant founding father, but as a visionary who understood the fragile balance between power and liberty. In the final chapter of our journey with George Mason, we explore the enduring legacy of a man whose ideas continue to shape the American conscience. Stay with us as we reflect on the impact of Mason's vision on the nation and the world. As the dawn of a new nation emerged from the tumult of revolution and debate, the contributions of George Mason, once overshadowed, began to cast a long shadow over the fabric of American democracy. This final chapter explores the enduring legacy of a man whose vision for liberty and justice continues to resonate. The adoption of the Bill of Rights in 1791 marked a vindication of Mason's steadfast beliefs. These first 10 amendments to the Constitution enshrined the protections he fought for, ensuring that individual liberties would be the cornerstone of the United States. Without Mason's vocal dissent, the Bill of Rights might not have come to fruition as it did. His legacy is a testament to the power of conviction and the importance of safeguarding freedoms. Mason's foresight and dedication to individual rights have influenced not just American law, but democratic principles worldwide. His legacy extends beyond the borders of the United States. Today, George Mason's vision lives on in the ongoing struggles for rights and justice. From civil liberties to privacy concerns, his influence is felt in the debates that define our times, reminding us of the importance of vigilance in protecting our freedoms. Mason's contributions are commemorated in institutions that bear his name, such as George Mason University, and memorials that stand in his honor. These sites serve as a testament to his role in shaping the nation and a reminder of the ideals he championed. George Mason may not have signed the Constitution, but his imprint on the nation it birthed is indelible. As we reflect on his legacy, we are reminded of the enduring importance of his vision. A vision of a society built on the principles of liberty, justice, and the unyielding defense of individual rights. In the quiet of Gunston Hall, the spirit of George Mason whispers through the halls of history, urging us to remember the foundations upon which America was built. As we look to the future, his legacy invites us to continue the pursuit of a more perfect union, grounded in the rights and freedoms for which he so passionately advocated. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and legacy of George Mason, a true visionary of the American Revolution. May his dedication to the principles of freedom inspire generations to come.